this week's coffee blog. It's now Friday the 1st of October. Has the year gone? It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's cold, damp and wet outside, turning into a very typical British autumn heading towards winter. Definitely this last week it's got a lot colder than it has been, and kind of predicting snow for a few weeks' time possibly. It's a bit of a shock, but there you go. That's what happens when we start going into winter. So expecting darker mornings, darker nights, darker generally, cold and miserable. So what's been going on? Last weekend didn't get I did some sorting out of stuff last weekend at home. Did also put a SSD in Mac Mini. My media server Mac Mini at home, which is normally under the telly, and a year ago in August when I went away, the hard drive failed in it, which was an old spinning disk hard drive. So I replaced that with an SSD, which is brilliant, loads faster, great job. And then this year, while we were away, the Mac Mini decided to just completely die. No power, light, doesn't boot, doesn't do anything. I'm assuming that the power supply unit itself in it has bit the dust. So that was completely dead. So I thought, well, rather than try and resurrect it, I'll just get a slightly newer version of an old Mac Mini, because that was a 2011, so I mean it'd done its due. So I had a hunt about, and I found a 2014 model that would do the job for 120 quid. So I thought, right, great, I'll get that. So I got that. Then I discovered after that the 2014 Mac Mini, they changed where the hard drive is. In the 2011, it's right near the opening of the base of it, so you can just sort of pop it out without taking anything else out. And in the 2014, they stuck it right at the sort of top back, so you have to remove absolutely everything to get it out. That's the entire logic board, motherboard has to come pulled out of the unit, and then the power supply has to come out. So many little screws to remove, completely fiddly job. So I thought, oh well, I'll just use the drive that comes in it, because you know it was coming with a drive anyway already set up. So I tried that for about a month, and it was horrendously slow, just horrendous. I mean, even for a spinning traditional hard drive, it was slow. And of course, I'd still got the SSD from the other one. So in the end I thought, well, I'm going to have to dig in and pull this whole thing apart and put the SSD in, because it was unusable, even as something that you just log into now and again, or put on the telly to put some streaming service on the telly that you can't access anywhere else. So I took it all apart, put the SSD in, put it all back together again, and it actually worked, which is always a bonus. I didn't break anything in the process, and it was just so fast comparatively. I actually think the hard drive in it was on the way out, because it was that slow. There must be some issue with it or problem, because it made no sense. So did that little job and was pleased to have the Mac Mini back up and running. The funny thing is that I put the SSD in just straight out of the old dead 2011 Mac Mini, and it just booted up again straight into Mac OS. It didn't faff about it at all. The only thing I've had one warning about there's a potential issue with the EFI or something, which is probably the OS detecting that it's in a completely different Mac Mini than it started out as. But other than that, it seems to be working fine, so I'm not really that bothered about reinstalling everything for it just yet. So that was pretty good. Obviously, the other big news over the weekend was the fuel crisis, which the UK has randomly suffered. So And unfortunately, I kind of got caught in the middle of it because being a bit dim the week before, I'd been running it down, and kind of like I do wait till I get quite low on fuel now because the Toyota hybrid is so efficient. It's very rare I have to go to the petrol station anyway. So I normally wait till it's quite low and just fill it up, and then I've got another long stretch before I go in. And yeah, last week there was a few nights I could have gone and I didn't bother. I thought I'll leave it till Friday night, and then Friday night there was some queues at petrol stations, which was like, oh, why is people queuing to get into petrol stations? Oh, well. So I thought I'd leave that, and then because Saturday morning read all the news and it's like bedlam everywhere, and there's mile-long queues and people waiting hours just to get some fuel, and there's people filling up water bottles and goodness knows what that aren't suitable for a solvent like petrol, just to get more of it, and probably blowing themselves up at home and God knows what. So yeah, so I thought, well, I've got 100 miles range, so I'll just wait it out, and eventually everyone will got fuel, and then it'll be all right. So I didn't go anywhere, so I didn't need to go anywhere Saturday anyway, so I didn't bother going anywhere. Sunday just went out to Brighouse, and back to work Monday, so I kind of just tried to be as fuel efficient as possible. So Monday, all right, and then Tuesday night I thought, right, I'll try my usual Tesco's on Halifax Road petrol station, because I dropped card off at their card recycling there as well. Went there, no fuel. So Wednesday morning I tried the Jet petrol station, Cooper Lane, completely shut, no fuel. Bottom of Booth Town petrol station, completely shut, no fuel. And I had got down to like 40 miles, which is kind of when I get a bit sort of worried, because the funny thing is, my experience of cars previously, when you get to the last bit of fuel in it, it might say 40 miles, but if all of a sudden that 40 miles turns to 10, it's just like the last bit, they haven't quite got it worked out right, and it always just disappears, and then you're in crisis mode, and not wanting to run out. So I was getting a bit sort of like, oh, well, this is going to be a bit of a problem. And I thought I'd try Sainsbury's in Halifax petrol station. And lo and behold, they had fuel, and I drove straight up to a pump as well, no queuing or anything. Although there was a queue after I left, not because I was there for hours, although I did fill up right to the top, yeah, I think a lot more people sort of turned up there. So possibly the Tesco's at Halifax Road is quite hidden in Halifax. You have to know it's there, that petrol station. You're not going to drive past it and happen to go in. You have to know that it exists. So maybe that one got away with it a bit more because it was kind of like a local knowledge thing. So I averted disaster anyway. Timely reminder to maybe not leave it all to the very last minute to fill up again. Although who would expect there be a problem with filling up with fuel in the UK? No one, really. But there you are. So, more Brexit and goodness knows what else madness in the UK. Plus, one got to have no turkeys and no Christmas presents and God knows what else. So, yeah. Well, I've plenty of coffee though, really good coffee. I don't know if I had it last week. It's Hiker's Strength again this week. Is it? Oh no, it's my Christmas blend. No, actually, no, I'm fibbing. It's Christmas blend. I decided to try that again. But I'm maybe going to tweak it because I got some Mexican Maragagipe in yesterday. That's supposed to have some really spicy notes to it. So I'm going to try some of that today, and I might use that as part of the blend for Christmas, because obviously Christmas coffee you want to be a bit spicy, so if that one has definitely got spices in the tasting note, that'll be quite good. So yeah, other than scrabbling about for fuel this week, a few deliveries locally, a customer come up to make up his own coffee blend, special blend. Been pretty busy with roasting. Did a big day on this on Tuesday. about 8 batches through this, so a lot of roasting. Just got it all cleared in one day, all the blends and whatnot. So that was good, and other than that, yeah, it's just been sort of steady away. I say, I don't know, I think most people have been too busy trying to queue up for fuel to do anything other, like go out and drink coffees and things, but no, it's not been too bad. We had 1,500 kilos of green come in yesterday, which I've got to stockpile up still. And then I've got to order some more green coffee this morning actually. So yeah, we're shifting through quite a lot of green coffee and roasted coffee, bits and pieces, so it's all go. But I do miss anyone else's words, haven't I? Before I get off. So let's see, right. So Ellis says, my things for you to talk about on your vlog. I have watched Ronin starring Robert De Niro and Candyman starring Virginia Madsen. Ronin is probably one of my more favourite films, just for the car sequences. That's got some great car sequences in it. I have been to Beechwood Park on Sunday afternoon, Ratcliffe Tea Rooms and Greenwood Park on Monday afternoon, and the National Media Museum as a Magpies trip on Wednesday. You've been very busy, Richard, getting out and about. That's good. Get out before it gets too bad weather for it. I will have a booster vaccine soon, lucky you. We won't believe it, it's been 3 years and 2 months ago since Bob Bell did a vlog. Well, I imagine I could do. Did Callum enjoy the Lego Batman video game? As the Joker's question is, wouldn't it be cool to carry the Earth around in your pocket? Yes. I will try and watch The Martian starring Matt Damon. Also Mission Impossible 2 is the best. Especially the plane with the Einstein lookalike, the climbing and the numbling scene. And have you seen Vanilla Sky? I think so. Have you ever been to Home Firth Animal Auction, as I sometimes go with my dad on a Saturday? No, I haven't. Can you remember the Toca touring car games? Yes, I used to love playing that actually. That was the PlayStation 1, wasn't it, Toca? Oh God, memories. When did you start remembering Kiss from a long time ago? I don't know. Well, actually, I started remembering them when Scooby-Doo had the Kiss plug-in thing. Did you used to watch The Herbs? I think I did actually. I don't remember The Herbs. So, anyway. I suppose we better get on with the rest of this week. So, I don't think there's anything else really exciting happened, unfortunately. Just going to be this weekend progressing with bedroom makeover at home. My boy emptied the cupboard out. I put a ceiling light, sensor ceiling light in, just like a dome light, but it comes on when you walk in and out of the cupboard because there was no light in there at all. And I'm going to make it into a walk-in wardrobe. So now we've got all the junk out. So put that in, so at least you can see what's happening in there now with the paint inside it. And then I've got two clothes rails, the coat hangers, to put one along the top and one lower down, so we can put clothing in and his on the lower one so you can get it easy. And then probably put some shelves in for bits and pieces of clothing and stuff, and then once all that's done, we can get rid of the wardrobe out of the room, which is taking up quite a lot of the room or space that you could be using for other things. So that's kind of like the plan for tomorrow. Get the painting done, get the clothes rails up, and then empty the wardrobe. Then got to start thinking about taking that down. So a very long project this bedroom is. Might be done for Christmas if we're lucky. Right, have a good weekend and week next week, and I'll see you next week off with vlog. Okay.